I'm Vanessa Hudson, the new CEO of the Qantas Group. I know that we have let you down in many ways, and for that I am sorry. We haven't delivered the way we should have, and we've often been hard to deal with. We understand why you're frustrated, and why some of you have lost trust in us. I know that our people have tried their absolute best under very difficult circumstances. I want you to know that we're determined to fix it, to improve the experience for you and to support our people better. We want to get back to the national carrier that Australians can be proud of, that's known for going above and beyond. We understand we need to earn your trust back, not with what we say, but what we do and how we behave. This is going to take time, and I ask for your patience. The work is already underway. We're putting more people in our call centres to help solve problems faster. We're adding more frequent flyer seats. We're reviewing all of our customer policies to make sure they're fair. And we're giving our frontline teams more flexibility to better help you when things don't go to plan. That's only the start. This has been a humbling period, but through it, I share the pride and passion that I know our people have for Qantas. And this gives me the confidence that we will rebuild your trust. Thank you for your support.
Well, I know some of you had a chuckle when I referred to Qantas this week as the gravy plane. Well, I wasn't wrong. If you've been monitoring the evidence being given at the Senate inquiry into the aviation industry, you'd be thinking to yourself, well, they've been running their own race. Allegations of a protection racket being run for the so-called Spirit of Australia, perks for politicians who are given premium access for the exclusive Chairman's Lounge, the ability to sack workers, which is later deemed unlawful by the High Court of Australia, not to mention the bold-faced lies when it comes to fake flights sold to their customers. Does that sound like a multi-billion-dollar airline or a shonky business you'd see on a current affair? If you're in charge of an organisation ripping off its customers, would you be able to sleep at night knowing you've accepted an enormous bonus? Have a listen to what Alan Joyce has been paid. $21.4 million after departing the carrier 2 months early. $21.4 million. That's even after it was cut by $500,000. It's there in black and white in the financial report made public yesterday. The board has also decided to withhold $14.4 million in short-term bonuses. Mr Joyce won't be receiving that money until more detail is provided about the nature of an investigation by the consumer watchdog. It's suing the airline over allegedly selling tickets for ghost flights in 2022. Now, if you break it down, Alan Joyce was paid $11.9 million on a statutory basis for 2023. $11.9 million bucks. Then, if you tally up the total realised pay for the former CEO over his 15 years at the helm of Qantas, it adds up to an eye-watering $120 million. He won't be too worried about the possibility of losing some of his bonuses, but it begs the question, do they have performance reviews at Qantas? Or is the upper management exempt? Are they choosing to ignore the fact the share price has plummeted by more than 13% over the past 6 months and now sits at $5.39? The chairman, Richard Goyder, is under mounting pressure to resign. He's recognised what everyone's been saying for years. Customers have lost trust in the airline business. In the financial report, Mr Goyder says the board acknowledges its role in the High Court determination that Qantas acted illegally in sacking nearly 1,700 ground staff during the pandemic. But this next comment will go down like a lead balloon. He claims the commercial reasons remained sound. Is the chairman forgetting the money they received from the government at the height of the pandemic to look after their employees? Or were they too busy looking after themselves in the boardroom? Vanessa Hudson has inherited a dog's breakfast. The new CEO has an enormous task ahead. Not only must she restore the reputation of the Spirit of Australia, Ms Hudson needs to repair the damage done by her predecessor. Michael Caine from the TWU told me earlier this week that the new CEO wants to apologise to those workers who were sacked. Vanessa Hudson has also been ordered by a judge to clinch a deal face-to-face with Mr Caine over compensation. Tell you what, their heads must be spinning over at Qantas headquarters at the moment. It's been referred to by some as severe turbulence hitting the airline, but it's more than that. Some would argue the airline has been hijacked by greedy executives intent on taking their customers and the rest of the country for a ride. Instead of holding Qantas accountable, it's clear the politicians have been in bed with the likes of Mr Joyce and Mr Goyder. A membership to the Chairman's Lounge seems to go a long way. And the more and more I hear about the so-called spirit of Australia, the more and more I think it's become the laughingstock of Australia.
A cheeky and very clever leprechaun running away into the distance. To be sure, leprechauns are very tricky little people.